Hi Virgo, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. Today, Virgo, for your meditative session, you guys got Parrot Spirit. Watch your words. Virgo, I'm also getting something about like oversharing, and that's something I do a lot, and I think that might be like kind of a warning about that too, right? It's like, I feel like I know I can at times be very like Queen of Swords like, right? Like, that's the straight fact. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You did that or I did that, and that it is what it is, right? Like, that's what happened. Let's not, fabricate a factual story, right? So it's kind of like cutthroat, and I think that's the vibe that some of you guys are gonna take in whatever is coming up. I feel like this is a conversation with someone, and I think you're just gonna be very like, well, that's what happens, and this is what happens. And I want to say that for those who are being very Queen of Swords like and very, brisk, right, in what you have to say, make sure it's like for a point, right? Because like you could rehash a story and give someone like straight facts and be like, well, that happened and that happened, but what's the point of that? Like, to what end? And I think that's what they want you to know. It's like, what's the point of being in that energy, in that mood? Like, what's it gonna solve? Right? If you're trying to solve something with someone, is this going to help the case, or is this going to make it like, is it gonna like hurt this other person to the point where they just don't want to speak to you anymore, right? Because you're just kind of making them sad. I feel like this person might be very sensitive that you're gonna talk to. So for you, it's very like, okay, I just want to tell you straight up, this and this, and they're very sensitive. That's what I want to get. That's what I'm getting with this. It's like, they're sensitive. So what you think, the approach you take could be very cutthroat. And I think that they might feel some sort of way about that. And you don't have to tell me, like, I feel like I am on that side with you, Virgo, where I will just say kind of, it is what it is. That's the situation. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but it might hurt their feelings. And for then another group of you guys, I feel like, don't overshare. Let's just say you start dating someone and they ask you like, where'd you get this rock, right? They could just be like, oh, I really like this rock, right? I really like this rock. And you could be like, oh, my ex got it for me. You know what I mean? And I feel like that could just like hurt their feelings and bring up shit from the past. Whereas you could just say like, thank you. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm getting with this. It's like, you just be like, thanks, I love that rock, right? If they asked you who gave it to you, then I would, of course, not lie about it. But I mean, like, let's just say that like, I really love that rock, and you're like, thanks. I love it too. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to tell them like who gave it to you. You don't have to bring up, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be something about bringing things up from the past, and I think it's just going to be like detrimental to this person's like confidence. And I think it's just a point of like not saying things like, like, oh, who got, like, unless they say like unless they ask you who got you that rock, you don't have to say it. You know what I mean? You're just gonna put shit in this person's mind. They're very sensitive. Same thing with your words. Like, choose what you're saying, and I would say try to be as nice about it as you can be, and just remember that there's some things that don't need to be said. Like, some things, like, again, rehashing a past event, maybe there's like no point to that. Another thing that I was getting, last thing I was gonna say, Virgo, is that I kept getting the song YMCA. That song like they do in parties, or like, I don't know, they do the YMCA song. I don't know who this is for, but I feel like that's only for a party or like a sweet 16, a wedding. So I feel like there's an event coming up for you guys, and I feel like you might not even know that. But yeah, this is a 9, so we're coming to the end of something, right? So yeah, maybe it's gonna be a time to celebrate. I don't know. Let's pull cards. So Virgo, I only clarified this side, if you could tell, and not this side, because I think that this is someone who hurt you, like, badly, or you hurt someone. I mean, decide, like, who's who. Someone really, like, up, let's just say, with the abundance in reverse, the 7 of Cups in reverse, and the healing in reverse. They really messed up. They really messed up. They lost a lot in this, and I feel like you were part of what they lost. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't listening to their intuition. And what's interesting is, like, this is someone who's allowing, like, the messages to come in and, like, kind of listening to their intuition on some other level, listening to their dreams, listening to the signals, knowing that, like, what the signs are is enough for, you know, at this time. Like, the divine's never going to leave someone completely in the dark, right? So they were getting many, many chances, and that's what I'm getting. They had a lot of chances, but they couldn't see it. But now with the intuition card coming up at the end, they are seeing things now differently, right? They are using their intuition. They're using, you know, they're seeing the clues now, whereas before they didn't. So there's been a change, right? A complete, what is it, 180? A complete 180. This person has done something to change. And I think has a lot to do with their ego. You know, in the past, the ego was a problem for this person. In the past, they put a lot of work into ignoring you, maybe, and ignoring the signs from the universe. And they lost, you know, they lost with the abundance in reverse. And with the healing in reverse, it came from pain, right? It came from pain. It came from, you know, their ego might have been triggered by you, and they decided, you know, like, to just leave. You know, it kind of just feels like a brisk thing, but it is an all-encompassing thing. It's many aspects in their life that were not aligned, right? So a lot of misalignment for this person that caused them to be so blind, I'd want to say, right? So I feel they're coming in to let you know, and I think that the divine wants you to know that this person is more balanced now. You know, they're not completely balanced, let's say. I mean, this card is indicating that they are, but I think what they want you to know is that this person is coming back around because there has been some sort of change, right? The intuition card's upright. They are balanced now, right? There's more of a balancing out. They're not sitting in ego anymore. They're sitting in this kind of, I want to say the universe has worked on them, right? The divine has guided them. And I think part of that guiding is to ask, to speak to you, to talk to you, right? Because the last card coming out here on top of intuition is this 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is communication, right? And I think they want to talk to you about everything that I was just saying, like this cycle. They want to talk to you about that. And now you have the chance to listen and you have the chance to speak. You have, you know, you can do whatever you want, Virgo. But what I am getting with this is, like, some of the things that you have to say are very important, and all your feelings are valid. But again, what is the ending that you desire with this person? That's what you have to ask yourself, right? Because if you desire some sort of ending that involves this person, like working with this person, then what you say is very, very important, right? If you don't want this person in your life anymore, then you can say whatever you want, because you're not going to be afraid to hurt their feelings or lose them or anything, because, you know what I mean, you don't want them anyway, so you're going to be blunt, you know? But what I'm getting is that for some of you, for whoever this is, right, some of you might want to have this person apologize to you but not have anything to do with them. And some of you guys want this person to apologize to you, but you do want to work on things with this person, depending on if their energy has changed. And I'm telling you that their energy has changed. But I think that for those of you who want to work, I mean, I think there's, for everyone, a certain thing, like certain, you know, you shouldn't poke at this person and try to make them feel worse. I feel like they already feel bad for what they did, you know. They already have a lot of guilt and they feel remorseful for what happened. So it's not do they feel guilty? It's like, but I want them to feel more guilty than they feel. Like, no. Like, I think that that's the mistake. So maybe they're not going to come in this very, maybe they're not going to come in a way that is exactly how you want them to come, right? They might come, they seem okay, right? They seem completely fine. But I think that's a good thing, because I think that there's a point when feeling bad for what you have done gets tiring, right? It only stops you. So I feel you want this person maybe to come back in such a way that it shows such remorse, and it shows such a, oh, I feel so bad, I'm so sorry. And maybe they won't come necessarily like that. Maybe they're just going to come more in this energy of, I want to like work on things with you, right? I want to work on things with you. I'm being guided to you, and I hope that you want to work on things with me. And maybe they're not going to tell you necessarily about how bad they felt, for what they did. So I think that might bother you, Virgo, because you want to hear them say, a lot of shit, you want to hear them say, I'm so sorry, I feel so badly. I think they might kind of communicate about, again, some of this, but not all of it. Maybe for some of you, you want to know everything, and they're not going to tell you everything, right? And that's kind of what this reading is about. It's like, what is the point of saying certain things, right? Maybe they're not going to tell you everything, but you already know certain things, and you're waiting for them to tell you something. And again, it's not about someone being dishonest. It's like, what is the point of that, right? Like, what is the point of that? If you guys were separated when they were with someone else, for example, and they tell you like, yeah, I dated someone else. Yeah, I did. But they don't really tell you too much about that, and you want to know more about that, then you can ask about that. But like, I want you to know what would be the point. There's some things that you don't need to say, Virgo. There's some things that you don't need to really find out about. There's some things that are in this person's past. They're in the past already, and you could just move forward knowing that they're done with that. For some of you, that's the warning. It's what is worth knowing, what is worth asking, and what is worth saying, right? If you feel like they're withholding information, maybe there's a reason, maybe there's just a reason. They don't feel comfortable speaking about it. For some of you, it's the way they come in, and they're not coming in such a way, I want to see them cry, that's an egoistic thing on your side, Virgo. So again, maybe you guys don't want anything to do with this person, but you want them to be sorry. They are very sorry. They know what happened here. Like, they know with this 5 of coins and the intuition, they know that you were like the fool here. Like, you kind of expected them to be there for you, and they were not. And they know that. Like, they feel badly about it. But I think at the same time, there's no point in being attached to this pain of what happened anymore, right? And maybe this is something about the past. Again, like, maybe you want to bring up the past and be like, well, who was right and who was wrong? And again, Virgo, I don't think it's really about that. I think what's more important is the talking about how you're going to work together now, right? To start again, right? And building together, right? And I think if you're at a balanced place and you really want to work with this person, then you're going to understand that as well. So I think this is going to trigger some of you guys, right? And I think that that's the warning here. It's like, don't be triggered. If you are triggered, try to figure out why, and know that not everything needs to kind of be said. Again, it's like this stone. You could say, oh, I love it too, thanks. Or you could say, oh yeah, my ex got me that for my birthday, and he was such a nice guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to rub salt in a wound, right? That's the point here. It's some things are just not necessary. And it's not about being dishonest. It's about what are the things that are worth saying and talking about. And this person does feel badly for the way they treated you. I hope, they come in the right way. But I feel, again, they're not going to be crying. They're not going to come in crying. And that's what I think they've already let that go. They already let that go in the sense where they're not going to come in and be like, I was such an idiot. I'm an idiot. Like, I love you so much. Like, I don't know. It might not be like the fairy tale that you expect. But I do see them coming in with integrity. I do see them coming in the right way. I do see them wanting to put in work. I do see that they know that you're like their happiness. They know, and this is turning the wheel, right? Did some of them maybe have a third party? Maybe. Did some of them break your heart? Yeah. But again, I don't think this is a toxic relationship. So when I say third party, again, I feel like they were dating someone and they might withhold that information from you. Maybe if you ask them, they'll say, yeah, I did. But again, why? There's something about why bringing it up, you know? I think they understood where they were meant to be and they went in that direction. It's like they cut that off, right? It's kind of like, what's that saying? It's if your left hand is going to do you a dishonor, then cut off your left hand or some shit. It's like they did that already. You know, they cut off the person that they knew wasn't right for them. And they completed some sort of karmic cycle, right? By cutting someone off. And maybe the whole time they knew like where they were meant to be and they just had to cut that off, right? It kind of seems with this lightning that there was like a tower moment for them where they were like, okay, like I have to cut this person off, and that turns the wheel. But I think again, they're coming to put in work. They're coming to, I feel like with the geese here, they're coming to kind of be playful and to relax. And that's the thing. It's like they want to relax with you. They feel relaxed with you. Like the way they associate you, Virgo, is with someone who's very caring and nurturing, you know, Queen of Pentacles, a true nurturer. So I think a lot of you guys, if you still have some healing to do, now's the time to do that. And now's the time to ask yourself those questions of why you might be triggered, you know, in what way this person comes in. But I want you to know, I don't think they're going to come in crying and shit. I think they're just going to come in very honest and be, you know, ready to start something new with you. And I think that it's up to you if you want to take that or not. But I don't think there's any point in rubbing salt in a wound. You know, there's no point. They might tell you a couple of things, but might not tell you some things. And I think that's okay, you know, unless you ask them that question and ask them, you know, I want to know more about this, then, you know, but again, like some things might not need to be said. Some things are, you know, not important. That's what I'm saying. Some things are just not important. They're not relevant to you guys starting new. They're not. They're just things that you want to know because you want to know. Maybe it feels a lot of ego. And that's what I'm saying, Virgo, don't be triggered, you know, like I think you have the potential, this has the potential of moving forward, but you have to be careful. This person does feel very sorry for how they treated you. They do. And I don't think that it matters the way it matters to you how they come in, but I don't think it really does at the end of the day because they're willing to put in the work with you. They know that you're their happiness, and this is a turn of the wheel. It's important. It's a turning of the wheel. So turn with the wheel. Don't sit in this past energy, right? The wheel is turning. The past, you know, for what? That's why I didn't even clarify these past cards. Like, for what? Someone was in ego. We've all been there where we haven't been in the healthiest of energies, right? I mean, we've all been in a karmic cycle. We've all been in our ego. And I think, especially people in this community, I think seeing your ego and messing up kind of triggers something where you kind of start to see that's not the only way that you can like live your life, right? So most of the time, I feel like it starts with something that occurs that is pretty negative that gets us to, you know, this balance within, right? So if you know that you yourself are not perfect and you yourself have had, again, I feel like you have ego things too, because again, I feel like there's something about you being triggered, Virgo. So just be careful. Again, there was a reading I had with you guys. It was like, be gentle with one another. This feels kind of similar. It's like, if you really care about this person, you want to work things out with this person, then just decide what's really important, you know. The relationship seems to be important to you. So if it's important to you, take care of it, nurture it, and, you know, like, don't poke at someone. You know, don't put salt in a wound. So let's see if there's any divine feminines for you, Virgo. Oh my God, Virgo. Okay. I don't normally like read from the book, but there's so many little sentences in here that you need to hear. So you have white buffalo calf woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. Okay. In her story, she can be very, very, what's the word? Cutthroat, you know? There's this part of the story where I think she like eviscerates someone. She turns them into like dust, I think. Yeah, the first man turned to bones instantly because his intentions were not right. And I think that maybe that's how you are right now, where you have been triggered to kind of protect yourself. But I think also with the high priestess here, you're that high priestess, right? Same as like this buffalo, the white buffalo calf woman, where you can decipher. So I personally feel like this person is coming with the right intentions. I really do. And I think that you're on guard because you have been hurt by this person, right? So you're kind of taking a step back to see how they approach you. And I think you can put the axe down, Virgo, because I think this is going to end up being exactly how you want it to be, which is their intention for coming towards you is because they love you. You know what I mean? Their intention, and they want to work out things with you. And I don't think there's any ill intention here. And with white buffalo calf woman, it says what she wants you to focus on is the intention behind their action. So their action is coming forward to speak to you. What's their intention? To work on things with you. And that's a good reason. You know what I mean? That's a good reason. And I think maybe in the past they weren't in the best place, but they are now. So just focus on what's their intention. Their intention is to be with you. Their intention is to work on things with you. Again, just watch your words. Watch what you want. Like, you know, watch what you say to them. Okay, and like, look how crazy this is. She's a sacred sign that we can receive what we need without fighting for it or trying to secure it through manipulation. Yeah. It's not that anyone here is going to be manipulative or anyone here is going to be, you know, bad. It's just the fact that she's already telling you that this person, I feel like it's okay to put the axe down, that this person is coming with love and they're coming with the right intentions. Again, if you're worried about your own ability to see through this person because you love them and you're like afraid, you know, like what if I can't tell? You'll be able to tell. You're the high priestess here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to know if this person's coming in correctly. And I feel for many of you that they are, right? And I feel like a lot of them know, all of them know that they hurt you. Do you know what I'm saying? So the only thing now is like, do you want to put the axe down? Like, are you done fighting with this person? Do you want to like make peace with this person? Because there is a lot of love here and this person is coming in with the right intentions. That's what I want to say. Like, if you're worried that they're not coming in with the right intentions, they are. They want to work on things with you. It's now you have like the ball's in your court. Do you want to put the axe down or do you want to keep fighting? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Virgo, I love you guys so much. I hope this reading helps you guys and resonates, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.